For me, cooking is a way to connect with my identity, connect to culture. Hi, my name is Rachel Adjei. I am a chef and a food justice advocate and the owner of the Abibiman Project. Food connects me to my culture because it's a way to experience the flavors in a way that my ancestors would have. Through food, I can understand what their experiences may have been based on what was on the plate. The main ingredients of today's dish are onions, chili, lemon, fonio, squash, and lamb. I hope that consumers get excited about not being afraid to go out of their food comfort zone, because chances are they'll love it.
For me, wine means never being bored. It gives you the opportunity to study history, geography, political structures, social structures, changing human dynamics, and to have a good time. Hi, my name is Jaby, and I'm a sommelier in downtown Toronto. Today, Rachel prepared a beautiful Senegalese grilled lamb. The combination of burnt onion, lemon, mustard, and a mild chili really helped influence my wine decisions. I really wanted to showcase different spaces in wine from around the world, so we had a white wine from California, an orange wine from Spain, and a red wine from Quebec. Choosing wine pairings is all about vibes for me. Finding out what really speaks to me about dishes and not being sort of constrained by traditional elements that most people would go towards. I remember the first time I was able to truly distinguish what a wine was just by smell and taste, without being able to look at the bottle, without being able to understand the producer, without seeing the year. And being able to know that information intrinsically within myself just gets me all fired up, because that means I can share that information with others.
I often get asked the question like, oh, what's like a quintessential African dish? And people don't get that it's a whole continent. So we have some Senegalese-inspired lamb yassa, so packed of flavor. And it's also just a great example of like the creativity and the diversity of African flavors.
And I know that you work on a personal project. You have this pop-up that you do every Tuesday. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
So I decided that I wanted to figure out a way to share my food with people more frequently. And so basically I've set up a way that every week I can do a new menu. And people can try different African dishes like this and give them the opportunity to see that there's beauty to African food. It's not all just chilies and things that you eat with your hand, although eating with your hands makes it taste better.
I'm going to pick that up shortly.
But yeah, it's my way to connect with people, talk to people, educate them about what the food has to offer. I think that there's not even knowledge on pairing African foods with wines and cocktails because there's not a big market for the food right now. And it has the same potential as any other cuisine.
I hear what you're saying about people feeling a bit like nervous about like pairing things with African cuisine, but often people are fearful of things they don't understand and they don't want to take the chance. I was just excited because this is great because, you know, my family's from the Caribbean, so the diaspora is out here eating, and one of my favorite things to do in this world is bring wine to my family events now that it's like safe to do so, and like share it with them and see how exciting they get to try something new, to try something different.
It's really weird how I kind of got to being in African food, because I'm trained in Asian cuisine and Southern French and like French pastries. So I didn't see myself in any space that I was cooking in. Like I'd never cook any type of black food. And so I created it for myself. I created the opportunity to make food that would connect with me, connect with other people in the community, and it's been like the greatest adventure and growth for myself because I also have to do so much research. Even doing this dish today, I am not Senegalese, but I do love Senegalese food because it has a connection to, unfortunately, colonial French influence, but the West African French combination really jives with my food identity.
Right on. I'm so impressed and like in awe of your capacity to say, hey, I don't see myself and I need to, and doing it. And the fact that you're like turning away from these like old colonial notions of what is good and what is true and what is fine cuisine and what have you. And often you'll see with dishes like from the diaspora, from Africa, from the Caribbean, they don't get the same respect, they don't get the same price point. But this right here is a world-class dish. I mean, Michelin star be damned, like this is where it's at. Have you been to a lot of wine tastings?
No.
All right, so we're about to learn today.
Okay.
Generally tasting wines, take a look at it. Does it look good? Looks good
I
to
mean,
me.
it looks good. It smells good.
Mm-hmm. I find that if you leave your mouth open just a little bit when you're smelling the wine, you get like a richer sense of the aromas. I like that you mentioned that you like the sort of like tropical fruit overtone. Because this wine, the Lucky You, which I love, it does make me feel lucky.
Good.
This is coming out of California, so you're gonna get a bit more ripeness. And I think because like the soil's a bit different than you get in New Zealand. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a bit more inland, but you do get more of these like ripe tropical fruits, ripe orchard fruits.
Yeah, it smells very fresh and bright. I will say that the orange wine with this, I like it. It works. I am not a wine professional, but I like it.
Honestly, the most important thing about wine is finding what you like. That's the first and foremost. Before you get into color and scent and looking at the structure, like what's the tannin levels, what's the sweetness levels, what's the acidity at, what's the alcohol, XYZ, take a sip of the wine and say, do I like it? And that's how you know wine. You just gotta know your own mouth, y'all.
This was amazing. It's a rare occasion that I get to share my food with somebody who can really connect with me.
Never in my youth would I think that I would have the opportunity to sit down with a Black woman who's a chef, running her own business, because for a long time, even in wine, I didn't think it was for me. But you're an inspiration to me because you're doing the things I wish to do.
Well, on that note, let's cheers this amazing orange wine that paired perfectly with the food. Shout out to you, shout out to me.
Shout outs to us. Cheers.